We knew this day was coming, and it is a sad day.
Very sad.
But also, in a way, a day of celebration.
Sure.
For one of the greatest singers in the history of singing.
Yeah, a cultural deity, like someone who changed the landscape of music as much as anybody else has.
Absolutely, and did a lot more, and we're going to get into civil rights because she was a trailblazer. But first, just the basics, which is Aretha Franklin died this morning after a long battle with pancreatic cancer. She died at her home where she was in hospice care. Her friends, family were around her. They knew this day was coming. We even told you earlier this week that the doctors had told the family that they thought she was going to die on Monday.
Yeah.
And she hung on, and it's interesting. I spoke to people who are very close to Aretha over this past week who were saying she was just a fighter and was fighting to stay alive, even though it was clear that her condition was terminal. Look, her family, I spoke to one of the nephews, and he was saying, this is really tough for us because we are grieving, and it is such a sad thing for us to lose her. And we want privacy on the one hand, but they also understand how public Aretha is and how meaningful she is to everybody.
Yeah, I mean, one of the first voices in terms of singing that I had heard, and one of the first people that I saw grown-ups around me revere. And so it's almost like I was indoctrinated into loving Aretha Franklin before I really could even understand music or even her music. It's one of the purest memories I have is just of hearing my mother and my grandmother and everyone sing that. So losing her feels like losing a member of the family.
Absolutely, and for so many people, and I remember, I am old enough, I remember when Respect came out. And
wow.
Oh my God.
When it dropped.
Can I tell you something?
Wow.
I remember listening to the radio when Respect came on KFWB radio in Los Angeles, which was a music station at the time. And I was listening to KFWB, and I remember hearing Respect. Bill Balance was the DJ. I remember this so well. And I just thought, that just can't be what I'm listening to. It was so almost of another world that it was so soulful. And I remember just loving this song so much and just thinking, my God, who is this? And then you follow her over this journey that lasted decades.
And relevance musically that spanned an ridiculous amount of time, was still having hits, was still relevant well into my adult years.
And by the way, Aretha's songs have the same power and meaning in 2018. Natural Woman, Chain of Fools, Respect, and are as good today as they were back then.
Without a doubt.
And you cannot say that about a lot of people and a lot of singers. But what we want to talk about, because I think everybody knows what an incredible singer she was. Yeah. And by the way, died the same date as Elvis Presley, the king and the queen, on the same date, August 16th.
It's incredible.
But you got to understand the significance of Aretha Franklin in the civil rights movement. This woman was a trailblazer because back in the 60s, black entertainers didn't have the ability to go on mainstream radio, didn't have the ability to play the Copacabana and other clubs that were just not inviting black entertainers in.
And when they did invite them, they made them slide into the back, they made them sit in separate different places, the accommodations were different. All types of ways to kind of subjugate these brilliant performers and marginalize them were used, and she was one of the early artists that stood up against that.
She and the Supremes were the ones to make that entree, and it changed everything. Talk to Al Sharpton about this, and obviously Al Sharpton grew up at the same time, and he has some very meaningful words about Aretha.
How important of a trailblazer was she for African Americans in the 60s?
Extreme trailblazer. She was on the cover of Time magazine before most black artists could ever get there. But she never lost her grounding, her roots.
Do you think we'd be right here where we are in society without her?
I do not. I think that Aretha Franklin was the soundtrack to the progress of America when it came to race. We will have other stars. We will even have other megastars. We'll never have another Aretha Franklin.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I just say something real quick. It's important to know that you have people like Aretha Franklin who were bigger than life, larger than life, and always were there for the call of their community and the call of greater American society. They didn't get weird. They didn't switch up. We never had to worry about her motivations and what she wore heart on the sleeve, and she was always there for us. That's why, another reason why the loss is felt so tremendously by the community.
And you know, one of the people who knew her really well and talked to her a lot is Ronnie McNair, one of the members of the Four Tops. And he has such a great story about something that happened between him and her.
And a recent story.
A recent story during this past Christmas.
Yeah.
Ronnie joins us right now. Ronnie, welcome to TMZ Live.
Oh, man, thank you. Thank you, man. It's a bad day for us.
You knew it was coming, obviously, but it's got to be hard given your history with her, which really goes back, you know, decades and decades.
Yeah, before I got with the Tops years ago, she used to hire me to do private parties. I played the piano and sing, and I used to do stuff like that. And she was just always, man, so wonderful, you know. And not only that, when I got with the Four Tops, she always hired us to do her Christmas parties, too.
The Four Tops played her Christmas party?
Every year, man, she hired us to do Christmas parties, and she would hire other artists, too. I remember, like, Melba Moore would be on the show with us sometimes.
Dave Howard.
Dave Howard, L.J. Reynolds.
Alita Adams.
Alita Adams, yeah. Everybody, she would hire people, man. She was just so nice, man.
You had told me, we spoke on the phone a few minutes ago, and you told me that last December you wrote a song for her.
Yeah, right before we did her Christmas show this time, I wrote a song specially for her, and it's called Sistery. And some of the words in it is, Sistery, I'm so glad that I got a chance to hear you sing for me. And she loved it, and when she heard it, she said, Ronnie, this is so good. She said, you know what I'm going to do? I said, what? She said, I'm going to put this in my movie. I said, what movie? And I forgot I had heard about that. And she said, you know, Jennifer Hudson is playing me in my documentary. And I said, oh, Reed. And I said, I didn't do it for that, baby. I just did it for you. She said, I don't care. I'm going to, you know, hopefully that happens. But like I said, I just did it for her, man.
Hey, can I ask you, Ronnie, would you honor us with a verse of that song?
Okay, Sistery. Me. Man. Sistery. Throughout the years, your voice has been heavenly. You've touched so many souls with that voice of gold, yeah.
Love it.
Wow.
Love it.
Wow.
Well, when did you talk to her last, Ronnie?
About 3 months ago, 2 months, because I think she started getting a little, you know, she was, you know, feeling a little bad. She didn't talk to me that much after that, you know. It's been about 3 months that we talked.
There are a lot of younger kids that are going to be watching this show right now. Is there any way you can explain to them exactly what Aretha Franklin has meant to not just R&B music, but popular music, period? Put that into words.
Well, like I said, I got a line in the song that says, she's the greatest in this century. And all I can say is when I was 19, man, a friend of mine took me by her house. I didn't even know her. And she was cool with Sam Cooke's cousin, L.C. Cooke. And my friend took me over there. And I was sitting in her living room, and I think it was her aunt or somebody said, Ree, come and play me a song. She jumped on the baby grand, started singing, it's an evil wind that blows, man, blew me away, man. That was my first time with a real star. I was just mortified. I sat there. But to the kids, I think to follow her example would be the thing to do.
Okay, you got to end with telling us, because the only controversy about Aretha is this. Favorite song?
My favorite song?
Mm-hmm.
Running Out of Food.
Okay.
That was her jazz. A lot of people might not know that, but that was one of her jazz. See, I play the piano, so I'm more jazzier than that.
Well, listen, again, so sorry about this. We know you were very close to her, and, you know, this is an American treasure. So, again, our deepest condolences. Thanks for the time, Ronnie.
Thank you, Ron. Thank you.
Thanks again.
By the way, guys, Aretha's been dominating the iTunes charts, too, since her passing. Of course, her song Respect is #1. She actually has 4 in the top 10, and she's got the #1 album, too. Her 30 Greatest Hits album skyrocketed, I mean, as soon as the news broke.
That really upset me just there.
Why?
Because my favorite I guess my favorite is Chain of Fools. I just love that song so much.
Oh, you're looking for yours.
It to be one of the top 4, and
yeah.
it wasn't. But it's kind of predictable.